up, YouTube? Today, Jon Jones for the first time. You guys have been telling me to check out Jon Jones ever since I checked out Khabib Nurmagomedov. So this should be fun. I heard that this guy is probably like the GOAT of MMA stroke UFC, mostly UFC, I guess. I think MMA is in a lot of other countries, so we can't really say for sure. But for the UFC, that he's the GOAT. That's what you guys have been saying. So far, I've really been impressed with Khabib. So I'm actually surprised that anybody could be better than him, to be honest with you. But let's just check this guy out and see if all the hype was warranted.
For me, Jon Jones is the reason I started watching UFC, because he was larger than life. He was so dominant.
He came out very low, almost crawling at him. And he's going to do that again.
Yeah, just for a second.
So, wow, what a powerful leg kick that was.
Jon, he's very tall and slim compared to his opponent.
Bones Jones.
Bones. Oh! Is it called Bones because he's slim? That doesn't. Anyway, yeah, that sounds tough. That sounds tough. Bones.
Again, they battle in another big knee.
Considered by many to be the greatest fighter to ever do it.
Wow.
Choke. Trying to choke him out and finish him right here.
Yoda's in trouble.
What? Let me think about that again. Greatest fighter to ever do it. That means in every fighting sport, all, even more Thai, everywhere. Is this guy that good? Wow. Let's see.
Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Chokes Lyoto Machida completely unconscious.
Wow. Okay. This should be fun.
Jon was an elite wrestler and went on to become a national JUCO champion.
But I dedicated my life to wrestling wholeheartedly.
When his girlfriend got pregnant, Jon faced a difficult decision.
Suddenly, I have a kid on the way. And suddenly, my full scholarship to Iowa State was not there anymore.
He left college, walked into the Bomb Squad MMA gym, and began his journey into mixed martial arts.
The very first day that he trained mixed martial arts, he did, everybody in the gym was like, this guy is now.
Working as a bouncer while trying to support a new family, Jones couldn't waste any time. Within weeks, he scheduled his first professional fight.
I had been training for about 2 months, and I took my first fight.
Well, Mark, we've got some light heavyweight action. The pro debuting Jon Jones fighting out of the Bomb Squad. We got some big boys tonight. Let's see what happens here. And Johnny Jones, a kickboxer and a wrestler, big fan of Anderson Silva.
He won in less than 2 minutes.
Damn. Whoa!
Jones with a suplex! Big.
Damn!
He flipped him over.
Then 2 minutes.
Jeez!
Jones with a suplex! Big. He flipped him over. Now he's raining some left hands down onto Bernard. Bernard is out. A first round TKO by Jon Jones. Mark, was that impressive or what?
Oh, man.
And Jon has 2 brothers that are elite NFL athletes. Pro bowlers. I mean, bro, he comes from fantastic genetics.
Yeah, genetic. Okay. I can see it now. I can see where it's from. The fact that he has 2 elites, man, that is crazy. We all know that NFL, if you want to go by athletic godlike gifts, NFL players look like the pinnacle of it, to be honest. Maybe NBA. No, NFL guys are just incredible. Yeah, so for him to have 2 elite brothers in the NFL clearly shows that this is some genetic God-given stuff.
I had no talent with the ball, you know, so they had me in defensive line next to Arthur, a guy who's big and fit to be a defensive lineman. And I'm just skinny and next to him, and that's how I got the nickname Bones. And
Jones fought his second fight just 1 week after his first.
Oh, that's it. He's out. He's out. And he ate a left there, too.
He rattled off win after win, fighting 6 times in 12 weeks.
I made it to the UFC after only 9 months in MMA training, so
Damn.
which is really unheard of.
Yeah.
It was immediately clear Johnny Bones was one of the most unique athletes to ever enter the fight game.
Light heavyweight matchup, and here we go.
At 21 years old, he made his UFC debut.
Throws a spinning back kick. All right, somewhere in the middle of what I thought. He's just taking it to Goose Mount. Switched and brought the left knee.
Johnny Bones Jones.
The victory brought a realization for John that he was able to compete at the highest levels in MMA.
Then there's this other guy, Jon Jones. He's like a wrestler, but he's really skinny. He's young. He's green.
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
Oh man.
He doesn't actually look, I don't know, he doesn't look intimidating. And he actually looks like a fresh looking guy. You know, sometimes when you see all these fighters like Mike Tyson, he looks very scary. I'm so fucking scared just looking at him. This guy looks like someone who could be a nerd in college, doing some aeronautic engineering or something. Like, he looks like a nerdy kind of guy. And slim looking. Very, very slim. Look at his legs. So clearly this is some genetic gift. It reminds me of the other guy. What is the other guy's name? Sugar. What is his real name? Sugar. Sean O'Malley. Yeah, that's another slim guy. These guys are just freaks, man. This Jon Jones, I can actually understand because it's clear that his family has some genetic gift somewhere.
I'll fight that skinny Jon Jones. Yeah, probably made the wrong decision on that one.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about.
John's wrestling experience is obvious in his takedowns,
And another one.
often brutal and theatrical.
Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, athletic, young. Suplex.
Whoa!
Greco-Roman All-American.
But it is Jones' striking that captured the attention of fans everywhere.
Wow!
That first round, sitting on my stool, I'm like, this guy is f***ing good, man.
He displays remarkable creativity in the cage.
Woo!
We are headed once again to the judges' scorecards.
Going the winner by unanimous decision, Johnny Bones Jones.
This journey that I'm on can go as far as I take it, and only I can mess
In his
it up.
10th pro fight, Jon Jones' first hint of controversy surfaced.
Bones Jones.
He demolished Matt Hamill. However, a series of illegal elbows earned him a DQ.
Nice trip. There's some Greco. His timing is so good.
Now, is there a part of you that feels like you never lost, even though you had the one disqualification loss?
John is completely undefeated. He only has that one loss to Matt Hamill, which is a disqualification in a fight where he was totally dominant in.
Big elbows.
No, you can't do 12 to 6.
Stand up.
The up to down elbow from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock is illegal.
Oh,
To make
really?
an honest mistake and throw an illegal elbow and have everything crash and burn. You
Due
know?
to intentional elbows, there's been a disqualification of Johnny Bones Jones. Therefore, the winner is Matt Hamill.
I don't beat myself up about it. You know, now I know the rules, and you would never see me going out that way ever again.
He amped up his training.
Yeah!
And I trained in Albuquerque, New Mexico at high elevation. I trained at 6,000 feet above sea level.
It's not often that guys like this come along. You know, not at all. Jon Jones, there's not a lot of them around.
And he's just got super athlete family. They're just, and he's huge. That size difference is so big.
In his first fight back from the controversial loss, Jones made a statement.
Is he gonna get it? Big takedown, but back in the full guard again.
I love Jon Bones Jones, man. He's the best I've ever seen. He's the best in the world, man.
It is all over. Wow. Jon Jones defeats Brandon Vera. Wow. Vicious elbow.
This spot is very scary, man. Kai was just throwing all those elbows. Damn.
Jon Bones Jones!
He's a serious talent. Even just then when he just stood up again, he's huge. I mean, he's so big. He's a young guy. He's only going to get better, and he's very motivated and very smart.
The Ultimate Fighter Season 8 winner, Ryan
Who will truly become the next big thing? Will it be Bader or will it be Jones?
Next up, a fight to determine who would contend for the title against Shogun.
High kick by Jones.
Constant.
Man, the way they're hyping this guy in this video, I'm actually thinking, like, then where does this guy rank? Ngannou. Where does rank? Because Ngannou looks like a very scary dude, man. He looks like a very scary dude. Where does he rank in this? Okay, I think this is like the lighter weights, right? Maybe Ngannou is heavyweight. I think so, right? Ngannou is heavyweight. So is Ngannou like the greatest heavyweight UFC fighter ever in terms of heavyweight? Guys, let me know that in the comments.
Offensive assault.
Looking for the shot. Stuffed easily.
Catching fighters off guard with moves no one else was willing to try.
He stepped right over and got his back.
And another benefit
man.
about 84-inch reach on his arms is he can get his fingers together when most people can't.
Yeah, he went right for a straight guillotine here. Tightened it right up, twisted it. Oh, he got hands all over! Jon Jones! Chokes out Ryan Bader! Wow!
Jon Jones' first fight in the UFC for a title, he's fighting Mauricio Shogun Rua, who is a legend.
Yeah, I'm fighting the biggest fight of my life. If I wasn't meant to be here, I wouldn't be here.
UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the world.
Shogun and Jones, our main event of the evening for the light heavyweight title. Big takedown.
The Shogun was a legend of UFC.
Shogun trying to get back to the feet, but he's giving up his back in the process. Shogun turned. He's hurt, Mike. He's wobbled.
Johnny Bones brutalized the defending champion.
Another side kick to the knee.
Whoa!
Man, he's so forceful. That teep to the face.
Creative combinations, athletic spinning elbows.
But this guy's legs are so thin. Why are his opponents not also targeting his legs? Kick his knee as well. His legs are so thin.
And kicks.
Spinning back elbow.
Fighting Johnny Bones is a nightmare.
Stuff like that, he's just so creative in there.
Relentless. The title win made Jones the youngest champion in UFC history.
Damn! Destruction! Destruction!
Is the youngest champion in UFC.
Look at the skills, man. Look at the skills combination. Jesus Christ. So much skills, man.
Wow. And it wasn't even a struggle.
UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the world, Jon Bones Jones.
He is the present, and he is the future. And he might be the greatest talent that we've ever seen in the UFC.
He's a freak, man. He's a real freak.
He most definitely is.
Damn.
It's crazy to watch him train because he's just super lasered in and focused.
For his first title defense, he took on another
Rampage
legend of the
Jackson.
Octagon, Rampage Jackson, one of the most intimidating fighters ever.
He actually looks very intimidating. What is he doing?
And he's the best ever at controlling distance.
He does the finger range.
Yeah, pokey.
The pokey range.
There's that spinning elbow. Just like against Shogun, perfectly timed.
Rampage had never been stopped in his historic career.
Really? What is his record? I knew Rampage was a bad man. I knew he was a bad motherfucker. But I didn't know his record was that clean. From what I saw, I think I was reading somewhere, I think he has lost a lot of fights. Maybe not that many, I don't know. Woo! He's always going for the legs. I've been noticing that he goes for the legs a lot, and it seems his advantage is that he has longer legs, so he can easily reach your leg without you knowing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I think while others cannot reach him because maybe their legs are not as long as his own. I don't know, because I'm just wondering. This guy's legs look very, very thin. Why are his opponents not going after it?
You know, chokes out Rampage. Chokes out. He just smashed everybody.
Damn.
Rampage has not been stopped in the octagon. That's what Jones wants. To be the first man in the UFC to stop Quentin Rampage Jackson. Jon Jones has defended his UFC light heavyweight championship.
Against Rashad Evans, Jones was pitted against one of his longtime friends and training partners.
That would be so hard. Like, in other sports, soccer, basketball, you can have a long-time friend and have a healthy rivalry. Like, you want to win him, and it's not. But this sport, I can't imagine fighting my friend, a very long-time friend. Like, I just can't imagine it. It's just too brutal and too dangerous for me to fight my own friend. I mean, I would lose. I won't be able to fight. Seriously, I would not be able to fight because I won't be able to put in my whole everything into the fight, to be honest.
How good is this?
This is so intense right now.
You ready? Ready. Good. Here we go.
He always goes for the legs.
Controlling the center of the octagon.
Head kick by Rashad. Big head kick by Rashad Evans. Jones might be in trouble.
I felt like this was a pioneering
He's
performance
way too
with
taller than
ranged
him.
elbows from Jon Jones.
Again with the elbow. That is a brilliant move. He's gonna get him. And he stopped him with that elbow. In his
Jones used his elbows to devastating effect.
But Rashad Evans, there was no way he could have trained for this kind of offensive. No one in Rashad Evans' gym is going to be fighting like Jon Jones in this range, stepping in with elbows over the top.
It's not just the long limbs, it's the way he delivers.
The long limbs. Look at that. The limbs are too long.
And a big right hand with the left hook. Clearly, Jon Jones has defended his title against another former UFC light heavyweight champion.
What the hell? He has a long limb advantage over everybody that is fighting. His hands are so long. His wingspan looks very long. His legs are long as well. Even people that are the same height with him, he still has longer limbs than them. This guy has that limbs advantage.
Belfort got hold of Jones' arm, hyperextending it in a perfect armbar.
Even though Vitor almost snapped that arm in half. That was crazy.
Oh, armbar! He's got it! He has got it right here! Vitor Belfort!
Jones allowed his arm to pop out of socket.
You what an animal John is.
Yeah.
What the hell? He just let his arm get
And he might have popped his arm. We don't know how John's arm is right now.
and then wound up tapping Vitor the next round.
What the hell?
It's amazing when you consider the fact that this kid didn't grow up with a striking background. It's crazy.
Yeah, John he's not just talented.
Side kick to the body, he hurt him, he hurt him, he hurt him. He hurt him with that side kick to the body. And now the axe kick the same way. Not good for Belfort. This guy's trying to get him in a mounted crucifix. He just needs to secure the right.
I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling it. That move was great, man. That move was great. That move was absolutely great. It definitely, his arms definitely left the socket. It definitely popped out. There's no way this guy was able to withstand that pain. What the hell?
Arm.
He submitted Belfort.
Oh, man.
Now he's going for a Kimura. All over. That's it. Jon Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight.
Can you imagine all these fights? These are with rules. Imagine fighting these guys on the streets or trying to fight them. Maybe you are an armed robber. You break into their home. Obviously, if you have a gun, maybe you can equalize it. But I'm talking about like if it came to fisticuffs and and they put you in that situation where your hand is like this, where you cannot say oh oh man.
Champion. Good job, baby.
He's just got incredible his ability to overcome.
Jon Jones, Chael Sonnen, and here we go.
He's so comfortable in world championship fights. He's had nothing but world championship fights.
That's all he knows.
Yeah.
Big round by Jones.
Main event, and you're like, holy shit, this is the big one. John's like, this is a fight.
Another day
or
in
like
the office.
Looking to finish this fight early. Over him right here in the first round.
Whoa.
Jon Jones.
First round.
Chael Sonnen.
And they get to this point where you have to be so much better to beat them.
Fame and celebrity are powerful
I
drugs.
had this crazy thing that I would do where I would party 1 week before every fight. And I did it throughout my whole career.
I party with John, but when he was partying, I would see him at the bar in Ithaca, and it would be like a couple weeks before his fight. This guy would be out there shots. And
I was winning, and it was starting to feel effortless.
As Bones rose to the highest levels of his sport, his focus waned.
We saw that in the Gustafsson fight, and he wasn't in shape for that fight at all.
Yeah.
They said he was barely training.
I did a lot of wild stuff leading up to the fight. I definitely didn't give it my all.
As far as partying and not sleeping right.
Mainly
and
partying,
drinking.
yes. Drinking, staying up all night.
You asked me earlier, Joe, was anybody else perfect with their takedown defense? And yes, that man, Jon Jones, the champion, had stopped all 16 of his opponent's takedown attempts.
In what turned out to be the fight of the year, Jones took on Swedish fighter Alexander Gustafsson.
With the takedown. First time in the UFC. Right back up. And there's a nasty elbow by Jon.
Woo.
To the
Damn.
side of the head. Right at the end of the round. Get some of that off. They want to take some of that back. Gustafsson with the right again.
The fight continued to go back and forth.
Woo.
Just past the midway point of this championship fight. Kicks to the body, hard kick. That kick was hard, Mike. And Jon Jones might have to take Gustafsson out to retain his title. They are on their feet here inside Air Canada Center.
Okay, that means from how it looked, it's like this guy was winning on points, right? The Swedish guy was winning on points at this point. So maybe Jones had to take him out. Okay, let's see. Look at the blood.
Damn. Nice elbow, caught him.
This sport is dead. Fuck.
Yeah, that did. Jones with it.
He's just a natural-born fighter.
For sure.
He just knows how to fight.
The UFC light heavyweight title is on the line.
Jones won the unanimous decision.
Big head kick. So aggressive just ate it. Yep. Unbelievable. What a fight. That might be the greatest title fight in the history of the light heavyweight division.
Unanimous decision.
Okay, decision. Okay.
And still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Jones.
Well, it's swollen lips. This game, this sport is crazy, man.
A super fight against undefeated Daniel Cormier was set.
That these people cheer for me and they don't even like me. They just hate Jon
The
Jones.
bad blood between the two fighters burst over in a pre-fight presser.
Is there any chance, though, 1 week from today, that you guys end up earning each other's respect in the octagon and can squash this between you? Jon, I'd ask you that first.
DC.
Daniel?
I have no
Who was the guy between that? Was that Dana White?
desire to be friends with him.
Costing Jones $50,000 in fines for the brawl.
I dislike him because he hates me. You know, we fought 2 years ago.
Sure.
I beat him fair and square. You know, no matter what he tries to blame the win on. The first time we were both undefeated, and I didn't know if he had that it factor. When you have an undefeated athlete, you don't know what, if there's that chosen one, and I thought maybe he could be the guy. I've always felt like I was the guy.
Kick to the body.
But despite the emotions of the fight, Jones handled his business.
And now that I've beaten him and I've proven that he isn't the chosen one.
Straight left by Jon. Look the way he utilizes that reach that you talked about. Those kicks by Jon.
I feel like
This guy doesn't look in shape, though. I know Tyson Fury is not in shape as well. Maybe it doesn't really matter. But I would think in a sport like MMA, being in shape is more important than in boxing.
there's really nothing special about him.
Like, Jon Jones is playing for keeps. He's trying to damage these people. He's taking pink slips. He's stealing the cars.
Defeating DC on a unanimous decision.
This ultimate grudge match goes the distance. Perhaps maybe all the bad blood has not boiled over. Wow.
After the fight, Jones tested positive for cocaine metabolites.
Then light heavyweight champion Jon Bones Jones was preparing for another title defense when he crashed into a car in southeast Albuquerque.
Yeah, there was a car accident right here on Wansboro and Southern Boulevard. The guy just hopped off into a yard. The guy that's getting out of the SUV.
A few months later, he was involved in a hit and run.
Former UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Bones Jones avoids jail time. The Albuquerque fighter cut a deal with prosecutors today for a hit and run crash.
It was humiliating and somewhat of a bottom for me, and I'm ready to snap it into high gear.
He was stripped of his title.
The judge is allowing Jones to travel out of state for work and promotional appearances, but the UFC has not decided when he will be allowed.
I mean, that is a bit of a privilege, though, don't you guys think? I mean, hit and run. I mean, depending on the injury of the victim, I mean, it wasn't mentioned there. I don't know the injury of the victim, but man, I think if this guy was an average Joe, he would have at least had, even if it's a year jail time or a couple of months, he would have had some jail time.
To fight again.
A true case of no one being able to defeat him other than himself. After being stripped of his lightweight title and suspended for a year, Jon Jones returned.
Jon Jones. Ovens St. Drew. Fight schedule.
Okay, this guy is almost his height. This guy is almost his height. What is he doing?
When you're the most gifted athlete ever to fight, spectacular spinning elbows, face kicks, and leaping knees are routine.
He's going to get taken down. Here's the problem.
ever felt. I felt that through the bottom of the soles of my feet.
For the winner by unanimous decision, Jon Bones Jones.
The fight secured him the interim title and lined up a rematch with DC.
This is why it's always very scary fighting someone bigger than you, because someone bigger than you can easily lift you up, which is a problem. And if someone lifts you up like that, you are basically helpless. You can do as much as you can. If they are focused, they will just be taking everything. They will take everything, and if they are just able, and this is not. You have to remember that if you are fighting in the real world, you could be dropped on the concrete or on the real floor. So imagine someone lifting you up like that and dropping you on the ground. And depending on how you are dropped, your head could be. I mean, it's crazy. It's really, really scary. Fighting is not good at all, to be honest with you. Fighting with rules like this is fine, but fighting real fights, it's not. It's a very scary situation. Seriously, I guess that was why human beings had to invent guns and machetes and spears and the rest of those things, because real hand-to-hand fighting, man, it's brutal.
Unfortunately, he tested positive again.
Jon Jones has been suspended for 1 year after testing positive for a banned substance.
I mean, that is 2 times. Shouldn't this dent his reputation or dent his legacy from being called the greatest fighter ever? I mean, if he has, anyway, I mean, Maradona was being called the greatest soccer player ever, and he tested positive for some substances. So I guess maybe it doesn't really matter.
I'll start by apologizing to all the fans who came out to support me for UFC 200.
Albuquerque police lapel video shows an officer pulled Jones over last week, slapping him with 5 citations, including for drag racing and exhibition driving.
Driver's license, registration, insurance, please turn your car off.
UFC fighter Jon Bones Jones is expected in court tomorrow, the first time he'll make an appearance since APD stopped him for drag racing.
You are held to a higher standard, and Mr. Jones has started to fail at probation. It has been a challenge for him. He's been given, this is his 3rd chance.
So it seems like a storm of stuff is coming his way. His career could be in grave danger.
Jones has been on probation for about 6 months.
He would serve another year-long suspension.
Damn.
During his absence, Jon had to watch DC, his chief rival, claim the belt.
Right, now he attacks like some of your downfalls, right?
Yes,
and he
public downfall.
And yeah, they are public, but he seems to feast on them.
Is this guy gonna mess this up again by doing steroids or snorting cocaine or sandblasting prostitutes?
I messed up outside of the octagon. I got that taken away from me. But the guy's never beaten me. In order to be the champion, you have to beat the champion. What he hates the most is the fact that he'll never be remembered because of the fact that I'm alive.
If Jon Jones didn't exist, Daniel Cormier would be the light heavyweight champion and he would be undefeated.
The wait is over. Jon Jones is back for the first time since April of 2016.
After a year off, Jones entered the cage with his sights set on ending the rivalry once and for all.
I believe I'm going to finish him by submission or TKO.
Jones trying to push the issue in. Cormier is down. Not yet.
Cormier's in big trouble.
Leaving no doubt who was the best of the best.
That could be it.
Trying to
That's it. He's out. He's out.
Jon Jones has done it. Jon Jones is back, and he is the new UFC light heavyweight champion. How about it?
Wow.
And again, the new.
I've always wondered who would win the fights between him and his big brothers, those NFL athletic freaks. Who would win? I mean, those guys are way bigger than him, and are almost his height, or probably maybe the same height with him. Would he win because of his skills? Seriously, like I've always wondered though, because those guys are basically in heavyweight division. So there's a reason why we have weight classes. So I don't know.
Undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon Jones.
He was back on top of the world. But again, Jones' test samples came back positive for a banned substance. Jones was stripped of his title and suspended.
I wonder how much money he's left on the table with all these problems, especially with the attention that Conor's brought to the sport.
To be accused of steroids, you go from hero to zero immediately in some people's eyes.
Do you think that Jones should be banned now after his second failed test for a banned substance?
This time, he'd miss 16 months.
And even though USADA has proven that there's a reason for the
overturned for no contest. I mean, look, this guy looks impressive. He looks impressive. But if I'm a fan, I would feel some kind of way because I would be feeling like the advantage that he has is these substances that he takes. You know, in elite sports like this, the margin of error is very, very small. Like this, all these guys are elite athletes. So the difference between someone and another person in the octagon is like minute compared to the difference between a UFC fighter and the average Joe. You know what I'm saying? So with that small margin of error, if he's not taking banned substances to have advantage over his opponents, maybe he would have still been winning these guys without the substances. But the fact that he's undefeated, so that which contributes to his legacy. Who knows? Maybe if he wasn't taking these banned substances, he could have lost maybe a game or two. Who knows? So I'm not trying to say that I'm not trying to say it's not the GOAT, but all these banned substances upon banned substances that is being tested for, it really leaves a bad test, to be honest.
That there's a reason for those picograms, and picograms gives you zero athletic performance.
You've never looked like a guy who was on steroids.
I believe him. It was accidental.
I will consult the bones. The bones tell me nothing.
He'd miss 16 months before returning for a match with the Swedish brawler.
Haven't I already been to the top of the mountain and faced the dragon?
Here's the thing, that dragon in rematches gets way better, and he dudes up in rematches.
One man will soon be the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion. This is a belt that Jon Jones defended a record 8 times.
All right, gentlemen, first round. You ready? Fight.
Jon Jones is back for the first time in 16 months.
Jones shook off any rust and devastated the Swede.
You just watch Gustafsson. You get the feeling that every time he goes to start something, Jon Jones intercepts it.
Alex just got to get in that boxing range. That's the big difference in this fight has really been the leg kicks.
I would imagine this is how Jones would spar with someone that he feels like he can beat comfortably.
He took him to the ground and beat him mercilessly.
He's on a run right now. That's what I think. I think they took it away from him for all those months when he tested positive. All money that he should have made, all the legacy that he could have laid down.
Like I said in the pre-fight interview, there's only been one champion since 2011. I'm glad to be back on my throne.
Jones had taken back his title after a 16-month layoff.
He drops you. It's over.
Takedown from Jones. From the soon-to-be and still UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jon.
Really just carries. I mean, like, it's almost like before you fight this guy, try as much as possible not to let him carry you and drop you. That's just it, which is easier said than done, obviously.
Bones Jones.
Jon Jones remains light heavyweight champion after easily defeating Anthony Smith.
Santos opened with a series of devastating leg kicks.
Another calf kick.
Chopping at that leg. Those are devastating.
Be going for that. This guy's legs are very slim. Go for it.
Early in the first round.
I've not been seeing his opponents going for this. This should be this guy's weak point. He's so skilled, so strong, but his legs look very, very scrawny to me. So he should be targeted there.
Where he kicked his leg out, I was like, all right, this fight's going to be interesting.
The attacks kept Jones off balance for the first round. But in the second round,
that's what I'm saying.
Jones timed the incoming strike and pulled his leg back.
Okay. Oh, that move.
The awkward miss caused Santos to tweak his knee.
Santos, maybe a one-legged fighter here.
Oh, nice kick.
Jones pounced.
Oh.
Sat down.
Big knee from Jones. So Jon Jones and Thiago Santos go the distance.
Dominic Reyes he's a hell of an opponent. You know, he's undefeated, extremely athletic. He's knocked out almost everyone he's gone against.
A career of total domination, cloaked in controversy and self-destruction. Reigning atop his division like no other fighter in history.
Jones knows it starts to get ugly here, and he's putting the pressure.
Jon Bones Jones. After defending his title against Dominic Reyes,
Jon chopping away at him.
Jon Bones Jones has committed to moving up to heavyweight, chasing a challenge worthy of his attention.
And he has the heights to be able to enter the heavyweight division. Let's see how it's going to be. Okay. Has it happened yet? Maybe I'm not sure how old this video is. Between him and Francis Ngannou, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best of all time.
By far the best.
If he's not the greatest of all time, he's in the conversation.
Nobody. What do you guys think, though? I mean, from what I've seen, obviously, in terms of the skill, in terms of his record, everything, yeah, probably is the GOAT, but I won't lie to you, all those substance abuse thing leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I know some people may say maybe it doesn't give him any advantage, but we will never know. We will never know if it gives him an advantage or not. So I would just prefer the guy to have been clean totally, so that we would know that his wins were totally him. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying his wins were not him, but I'm just saying those substances leave some room for doubt. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.